Everyone's making so much money from product drops.
As you see right here, we're at 9K in sales, about to be.
They just launched a minute ago and they're up to almost $10,000 in sales.
Not even 5 minutes, y'all. We just did 1,000 in like 2 minutes. 15 minutes in, we are at almost 3,000.
It is 1 hour since I've dropped. We are currently at $5,700 in sales.
I need to launch a product too, so let's see how much money I make. Now, usually people take a few weeks to prepare their drops. I need to do it in only 4 days. The reason is Nick and Alex here, the guys who created the product, well, they texted me on Sunday to drop on Friday. It's not their fault though. This big issue just popped up last minute.
We were initially gonna send out the emails ourselves and do the drop ourselves, but then the first email we sent had 10% open rate. It was horrible. So then we just decided to contact you because I had your number from before.
And that's pretty scary because if the email list doesn't open the email, they won't know the product drop. And if they don't know the product drop, they won't go to the website. If they don't go to the website, they won't buy. And we won't get any orders. So we need to get around that issue fast. And best case scenario, here's what happens. People actually open our email, they click on the link we share with them, then they add our new product to their cart, hit the buy now button, and then we fill our bank accounts with their cash. But people aren't opening our email right now, so we don't have a chance of making that happen. Or so you think, because if you've watched my last video, you know exactly how I went around that issue to make $88,000 in sales in just 1 month, purely from emails, starting from scratch. And let's pop up the clip because I know some of you guys don't know me. So starting from that point, let's take a look at exactly when we got past 30K per month. And I believe that was on the 26th, right? So 15 days later, about that. And yeah, we got past 30K per month. And let's take a look at where we got at the end of the 30 days, right? At the end of that challenge. So August 11th, and we did $88,000, right, at the end of the 30 days. But that solution I used back then, it's not that risky, but it might not work until a week from now. And since drop day is in literally 4 days, we actually need to come up with something else. So here's what we're looking for. Something that guarantees people see the drop, something that allows us to share clickable links that go to our store, and best case scenario, it doesn't cost a ridiculous amount like paid ads do. And my friend, we got the solution right there. SMS marketing. Not only does it tick all the boxes, but SMS marketing has a 98% open rate, which means when we send an SMS to people, they will definitely see it. And if you're one of my clients already, you know how powerful that can be. The good thing is, for the last 3 weeks, here's how the website looked. It's password protected, so to this day, people can't buy anything. The only option is to subscribe to get notified when we launch. Now, zoom in on that second block for a second. This is where people give us their phone number. And that's going to be a game changer in the future, hopefully. Between everything, we have 8,000 subscribers. So 2,000 of them only gave us their email address, but the other 6,000 gave us both their email and phone number too. All right, so without going into too much depth for now, here's the plan for drop day. We'll run SMS marketing. This is very much the priority, but what about email marketing? It's still completely necessary. Why? For maximum exposure on drop day, you want to be present in your subscriber inbox and reach them basically everywhere you can. And also cash. Maybe I should highlight that even more. Maximum cash. Email will still make us a bunch of money even though the opener is quite low. And so yeah, we'll definitely run both. So I spent the next day or so creating posts for both categories of people. I started with writing the emails and SMS, and then I moved on to the design. All right, so I got the first few campaigns ready. I'm about to hit send now, but just a quick note, the website is still password protected. So nobody can purchase, nobody can do anything on the website. So the goal of these campaigns is just to have people ready to rush to the website with their credit card in hand by the time we drop. And with that being said, I sent the first campaign. Okay, so quick update about the situation. Basically, in yesterday's campaign, there was a section that told people that if they replied to the email and said a certain keyword, I won't leak the keyword, but if they replied to the email, essentially, they'd get early access to the drop. Now, more details on early access in a second, but so far, the email went out to 3.4 thousand people, so quite a significant amount of people. We only received 9 replies, which is not a good sign. It's actually a terrible one. Now, if I'm being honest, the entire point of telling people to reply to the actual email was just for me. It was just to see and kind of get a feel of how engaged the email list was. But just to say the least, this is way worse than I expected. Now, as I said, we do have the SMS list to rely on, but as far as email marketing goes, the future really isn't too promising. And by the way, speaking of SMS, tomorrow we're actually going to text the password to the website to around 3,000 to 6,000 people. This is going to be the first time people are actually going to be able to see the product and purchase it. And because that store has never made a single dollar lifetime, tomorrow should be the first time it actually makes money. So I'm very excited for that. All right, you really gotta forgive me here because I forgot to record the footage for the early access day. And so what I'll do is I'll just cut straight into showing you revenue. And so let me go to the top of the page. I'll hit a quick refresh so you know this is real as always. But yeah, January 31st, we launched early access for the sale, or not the sale, but the product drop. And so yeah, this was the day. That day we did $27,000 in sale. Out of that, 81% came from email and SMS. So let me go to channel breakdown so we can see like exactly what type of revenue came from which platform. But yeah, email did $8,000 in sales. I swear, if I had more than 3 days or like 3 or 4 days to prepare the actual drop from emails, it would have done way more because our open rate is quite low. But yeah, this is what we were able to get through emails. And we did $14,000 in sales from SMS. And yeah, this is what I've done so far. Let's keep it moving and follow through with the rest of the drop. And at that point, I was super excited because the store went from never making a single dollar to making and processing $27,000 in revenue between 5 p.m. and midnight on launch day. So it was amazing. And you know, I'm not new to this. I recognize the signs. This amount of revenue in that little of time, this 100% looked like the start of a 6-figure week. Like it was inevitable. But little did I know, our entire momentum was about to take a massive hit. I'm talking about this email from our payment processor. Basically, we were no longer going to be able to accept any card payment from any customer. And on top of that, the $27,000 we made on early access day, well, they're keeping it all. All right, listen, usually I'm a very understanding guy, but Stripe decided to ban us 4 hours, like 4, right before we were supposed to drop the actual product. Now, that means not only my work on the email and SMS side was about to just get rendered useless, but also the entire weeks that this founder spent like creating the product, designing the website, etc. All of that work was also going to go to waste. So here we spent the next hours trying to get the Stripe account back, but also applying for other payment processors as backups. But the fastest solution was just to connect a new Stripe account to the store. Now hear me out. If that solution sounds like a quick fix, it's because it genuinely is, right? It's patched up together, it's genuinely not the best, but for the time of the drop, it would allow us to process payment. Now maybe the same exact issue would happen. We would get us banned because that payment processor is new. That could happen. But at least we can collect payment, and that's really all that matters. And just like that, we were back. We opened up the website and dropped the product. So I sent the emails and unleashed the SMS, and the two founders, they announced the drop on social media too. Now very quickly, the next wave of sale came around. 1 sale, 5 sales, 10 sales, 50 sales. Now this time, because we started to process a ton of money again, I started to fear another ban because this was again a brand new Stripe account, processed a ton of money. This was again repeating the cycle. But great news, we didn't get banned. Instead, something arguably worse happened. And let me clarify so you don't make that mistake on your end. Okay, so I built this page just to go over the issue without revealing the product. And essentially what happened was, as a result of sending this campaign that I'll put on the screen and then this other one too, basically the first campaign that we ended up sending during the drop crushed. And so because they crushed and because of how much stock we had, like these popular variants just got sold out right there. And so we only had sizes that were incompatible with our audience. So for example, let's say you were size M right here and your size gets sold out. No matter how great our marketing is, no matter how optimized our landing pages are, no matter what we do, we're not going to be able to sell you on the product we have simply because we don't have the sizes that you wear. And so that's what happened. And we only had sizes that our audience wasn't like the most interested in and that weren't a fit. Okay, so now that we're past the drop, let me show you how much revenue we actually made. And so I'll scroll back up and first give you some context because I think it's important. For the entirety of 2024, so as you can see, I'll go as far as I can go back, but the store never made a single dollar before we dropped this one product. And so as you can see, $0 after hitting the quick refresh as usual. But yeah, $0 in sales all the way up to the drop, right? And so I'll go to the early access So when we launched like the first email pushing to people to actually go ahead and buy, all the way up to like a day later, right? We made $54,000 in just these 2 days. And now keep in mind, we only launched the early access at like maybe like 5 p.m. on January 31st. And so this wasn't even a full day. And during that day, we actually got banned from Stripe for most of the day. And so this wasn't even a full 24 hour, I believe. And we made $54,000 in sales. Now, 34,000 of that came from like email and SMS combined. And so yeah, this was the first couple of days. Now, eventually momentum slowed down a little bit because as I just told you, we had like some stock issue. And so this is like what happened literally. But I'll go to February 2nd. And as you can see, we went from like $54,000 to like $61,000. So that's what, $7,000. And yeah, we went from like a 20K a day, which was great, to $7,000 in sales just because of like a stock issue. We had the amount of like traffic that came from email that was just great, but we literally didn't have like enough product to just give to people. And so yeah, this was our main issue. And at the end of the job, which was like February 5th, we ended up at $70,000 in sales, and out of that, $37,000 came from both email and SMS combined. And so 2 big takeaways from this drop. One, you always gotta prepare products drop early because you wanna hype the list, make sure everything is good from an open rate perspective, and that your email list is actually warmed up, right? So this is very important, takeaway number 1. And takeaway number 2, you actually want to have enough stock for the demand that's prepared to come, at least if you're working with a great marketer like me. And by the way, if you want me to run your email and SMS, just like I did for this store, you can apply using the link in the description. So yeah, just apply using the link below and I'll make you 7-figure per year from email and SMS. Cheers.